Over the years, our cable TV subscription has become more of a burden than enjoyment. We are not rich and have to count every dollar carefully that we spend. One of the more unnecessary luxuries we treat ourselves to is cable TV. Our kids love it, and my husband is watching sports and news channels all the time. However, our monthly bill is dangerously approaching the $200 mark, something we no longer can ignore. Since no one in our family is very familiar with modern technology, one had to do some research myself. Streaming TV via a so-called stick seems to do the trick. I convinced my husband to buy a smart TV and a little device called Roku. Ever since, we are all watching TV via streaming channels such as Sling, PlayStation Vue, and others. We are saving a lot of money as a result. Of course, nothing in life is free. We have to pay for the channels every month, but they are still much cheaper than cable TV. The bottom line is this rather new technology is cheaper, and we are also free from a constant bombardment of advertising.
The farmer drives a tractor. The tractor digs up the ground. He plants yellow corn in the ground. He plants the yellow corn in the spring. The corn grows in the summer. The rain helps the corn grow. If there is no rain, the corn dies. If there is a lot of rain, there is a lot of corn. He harvests the yellow corn in late summer. He sells the corn at his vegetable stand. He sells 1 ear for 25 cents. He sells 4 ears for $1. He sells all his corn in just 1 month. The neighbors love his corn. The corn is fresh. It is bright yellow. It is tasty. It is delicious. The birds love his corn too. They don't pay for it. They eat it while it is in the field. They don't cook it. They eat it raw. The farmer doesn't get angry. Birds have to eat too. So do cows. The farmer has 1 cow. He gives his cow fresh corn every summer. The cow loves the corn. It eats a lot of yellow corn in the summer. Sometimes it makes yellow milk.
Melinda is a young girl from California. For years, she had been planning to acquire a new kitchen. The problem was that she was still living at her parents' home, strictly speaking in the attic. There was a little kitchenette, like in a hotel, equipped with a microwave oven and a coffee machine. Melinda had always loved to rummage in cookbooks and had already downloaded hundreds of recipes, and to be honest, she was a good chef. Her parents weren't interested in modern kitchens. However, why? They always ate American plain meals that usually consisted of fries, beans, sausages, and coarse ingredients. Because Melinda was already 30 years old, her family did expect that she finally found a partner, married, and founded a family. But there was a problem for Melinda. She didn't have work, and unemployment makes life difficult, as everywhere. With work or without, she needed that kitchen. She had saved $600. Around the corner was a huge home center that always had discounts for kitchens on Mondays. But that wasn't all. Hardware stores, just like supermarkets, can be places where you can often meet neighbors and friends. On Monday morning, Melinda stood in front of the main entrance and waited. Indeed, after 20 minutes the first neighbor came. Melinda didn't hesitate. She told the old woman that she urgently needed to buy a pressure cooker because the old one was broken and she needed $30 for a new pot. After a while, the woman gave her the money. It perfectly worked. Melinda met half a dozen neighbors and acquaintances, and on midday, she had enough money for the new kitchen.
Nick and Laura are at a restaurant. They are making the order. The waiter is serving them. Nick, can I have the menu, please? Here it is. Waiter, what would you like for the main course? Nick, I will have fish for the main course. What will you have, Laura? Laura, I would like the soup and the salad. Nick, can I ask you? Does the soup contain onions? Yes, it does. Can you prepare it without onions? Waiter, yes, I will ask the chef to prepare it without onions. Waiter, what will you drink? Nick, we will have some mineral water. Amy has a birthday party today. She needs extra chairs and goes to ask her neighbors for help. Amy, hello. Excuse me, can you do me a favor? I need 3 chairs. Can you lend me your chairs for this evening? Neighbor, do you need just 3 chairs? I can give you more chairs. Amy, no, I don't need more chairs, 3 will be enough. Thank you. Sam sent Amy flowers and a postcard. He wrote, Happy birthday, Amy. Sorry I can't be with you tonight, because I must travel to Madrid on business. I wish you all the best. May all your wishes come true. Enjoy this day and have fun. With lots of love, Sam. Once upon a time in Africa, roosters ruled cats. The cats worked hard all day and at night they had to bring all they had gathered for the roosters. The king of the roosters would take all the food for himself and for the other roosters. The roosters loved to eat ants. Thus, every cat had a purse hung round its neck, which it filled with ants for the king of the roosters. The cats did not like the situation. They wanted to rid themselves of the king so that the food they gathered through hard work and great difficulty would be their own. But they were afraid of the roosters. The roosters had told the cats that roosters' combs were made out of fire and that the fire of their combs would burn anyone who disobeyed them. The cats believed them and therefore worked from early morning until night for the roosters. One night, the fire on the house of Mrs. Cat went out. She told her kitten, Fluffy, to bring some fire from Mr. Rooster's house. When Fluffy went into the house of the rooster, she saw that Mr. Rooster was fast asleep, his stomach swollen with the ants he had eaten. The kitten was afraid to wake the rooster, so she returned home empty-handed and told her mother what had happened. Mrs. Cat said, Now that the rooster is asleep, gather some dry twigs and place them near his comb. As soon as the twigs catch fire, bring them home. Fluffy gathered some dry twigs and took them to the rooster's house. He was still asleep. Fluffy fearfully put the dry twigs near the rooster's comb, but it was no use, the twigs did not catch fire. Fluffy rubbed the twigs against the rooster's comb again, but it was no use, they would not catch fire. Fluffy returned home without any fire and told her mother, The roost's comb does not set twigs on fire. Mrs. Cat answered, Why can't you do anything right? Come with me, I'll show you how to make fire with the rooster's comb. So together they went to the house of Mr. Rooster. He was still asleep. Mrs. Cat put the twigs as near to the rooster's comb as she could. But the twigs did not catch fire. Then, shaking with fear, she put her paw near the rooster's comb and gently touched it. To her surprise, the comb was not hot, it was very cold, and it was just red-colored. As soon as Mrs. Cat realized that the roosters had lied to the cats about their combs, she joyfully went out and told the other cats about the rooster's tricks. From that day on, the cats no longer worked for the roosters. At first, the king of the roosters became very angry and said to the cats, I will burn all of your houses if you do not work for me. But the cat said, Your comb is not made of fire. It is just the color of fire. We touched it when you were asleep. You lied to us. When the king of the roosters found out that the cats knew that he had lied to them, he ran away. Now, whenever roosters see a cat, they scurry away, because to this very day they are afraid of cats.
Let's go fishing, said the father. That's a good idea, said the mother. They put the kids into the car. They put the fishing rods into the car. They put the jar of worms into the car. They drove to the lake. The lake was huge. The name of the lake was Yellow Lake. It had yellow sand all around it. The sand looked like gold. But it wasn't gold. It was only sand. They parked the car. They got out of the car. They sat down on the sand. They put the worms on the hooks. They put the hooks into the water. They waited for the fish to bite the bait. They waited 30 minutes. Then one of the kids caught a fish. It was a trout. It was a rainbow trout. It had many colors, like a rainbow. But its belly was white. They took the trout off the hook. They put the trout into a bucket of water. The trout swam around in tiny circles. It was confused. Where did the big lake go? They caught 3 more trout. Then they went home. They had delicious fried fish for dinner. Can we go fishing every day? The kids asked their parents.